Good evening.
Good afternoon.
Good morning, wherever you may be. Welcome to another episode of Variety is the Spice of Slots. Today's slot topic is
Our personal boating stories.
boating stories. So while we play what?
We're going to play some Twin Win.
Ocean-themed slot machine.
Twin Win. We've loaded $750, 10-cent denomination, $750 is our bet. And this game does not have a bonus feature, but you can get 10 of a kind symbols.
And the twins act as two symbols.
Yes.
She is a scatter symbol. You need to get 3 or more of her.
Now, before we get into our storytelling, I wanted to give a shout out to one of that's 205.
There you go. That's good.
Very nice. That's over a 20x. Set aside 100.
Yeah, that's because we've got 6, 2, 2, and 2 of those turtles. 6 of a kind.
Gotta like the turtles. Let's get 10 of them now. So one of our viewers, she commented on one of our videos recently. So shout out to Melissa.
150.
Oh, nice. Melissa Lesmeister 5755. It was when we were talking about our superpowers.
Yeah. What would you do if you had superpowers?
Yeah. And I think she was a fan of having the superpower to be invisible.
Yeah, she said she'd like to be invisible, which, she said because it's a superpower, she could basically become invisible when she wanted to.
Yeah, you could turn it on and off. So thank you to Melissa for watching and commenting.
Yeah, we really appreciate that.
So our boating stories, which one do you want to start with?
Well, first of all, let's set the stage. So we live in the Pacific Northwest, and the Pacific Northwest has a very big boating culture around here. It is one of the most popular destinations for cruisers. When I say cruisers, it's people who own a boat.
Yeah.
Because of the San Juan Islands and access to the San Juan Islands and the British Columbia Islands once you cross the Canadian border. And so we bought a boat back in 2010.
Yeah.
And, we need one more of her.
Mama girl.
And it's a Bayliner. It's a 40-foot boat with an aft cabin, so it's a pretty big boat. It holds 300 gallons of diesel. It has twin diesel engines. And for those of you thinking about buying a boat, it is a hole in the water to which you throw money.
Just make friends with somebody who has a boat.
Yeah, make friends with somebody who has a boat is the best thing to do, because they are very expensive to maintain, and you just put, especially in salt water, you're dropping your boat into a pool of acid to see which part is going to fail first.
Pretty much.
Really, things will just break out of the blue, and you don't know why.
Yeah, it's perfectly fine one day, and the next day you're like, what the heck happened?
It doesn't work anymore. Yeah. So we bought this boat, and it was a little while before we took it on a very long cruise, because you've got to get used to a big boat, learning how to navigate it, handle it. It takes some time to learn to captain a boat. Plus, you have to take safety courses, all this kind of stuff to go through.
Yeah.
But as a captain of any vessel, you're responsible for everybody on board. There's our scatter pay.
Yeah. Pays 40. Well, with the
And
twins.
you think, well, it's just my family, but we also had a lot of friends come out on the boat with us and everything like that. So there's a lot to it.
Oh,
there's
bell ringer.
There's a bell ringer.
$87.50.
Yeah, we just needed. I call this one the fish stork.
The fish stork.
Because he's delivering a baby fish. Isn't that nice of him? And we then decided, after a few years of getting used to the boat, cruising locally, we started taking trips to the San Juan Islands.
Yeah. Hey, another bell ringer.
Wow, this is
112.
Just awesome.
Wow.
Just keep going on that.
I love the bell ringers.
Yeah, we'll have to keep an eye on that. That's setting aside a couple hundred there, right? Oh, Twin Win blocker.
Yeah, we just had the one that was over a 20x.
She isn't a twin symbol, but she is packing a pair of twins.
Oh.
Oh, there we go. Another 4 of a kind there. The stingrays.
Yep.
they make cute noises when they land.
They
the
do.
turtles and the stingrays and stuff. So we took our kids up to the San Juans. We would anchor out off of different islands and so forth.
There she is.
And it's just so scenic up there.
Oh, it's beautiful.
But one of our favorite stops is Friday Harbor. And Friday Harbor is a big marina, lots of different boats there.
Oh.
And you moor out on the guest dock, and they have a sea lion, speaking of which, since we just hit a seal there. There's a sea lion that is very well known to the marina, named Popeye.
Yeah.
And the reason why they call her Popeye is she has a cataract on one eye that is really bad. And so she only has sight out of one eye. But she will come up to the back of the boats, and you can buy fish for her and feed her.
Yeah, they literally sell the fish there, like fish for Popeye.
Yep, fish for Popeye.
To feed Popeye. They even have the statue there right above the marina of Popeye the seal.
Yeah, I remember one year there was some people yelling at us across the dock. Don't feed her. Don't feed. You're not supposed to feed them. They won't. Oh my gosh, that's a big one.
Oh, $80.
Yeah. Oh, that's not as big as I thought it was going to be.
Well, these needed, be up there to get that.
It was the baby, fish stork. It's not the bigger single. And they were yelling at us not to feed her. And I said, she is a local harbor seal. I explained to them that she is known. They take care of her here. And there's literally a statue of her as you walk down the walk.
She comes in at night after she's been out in the ocean during the day. She comes in at night to get her, food fed to her easily without having to hunt for it.
Well, remember that one night where the kids were out and they were sitting there calling Popeye, Popeye, and she appeared.
Yeah,
I didn't think she was going to come. You're like, yeah, sure, this seal's
I know, it's a seal.
Here's our kids yelling Popeye off the back of our boat.
Yep.
And she came right up in the back of their boat. We fed her, and it was just one of the coolest things.
Kids absolutely loved it. That's, I know, a great memory of theirs.
And then another trip, we went up there and tucked into Snoring Cove on Sucia Island. That's where we had,
Sucia Island.
Yeah, so Sucia is this it's one of the northernmost islands of the San Juans, and it's this little horseshoe-shaped island. And you get up there, and you feel like you're on the edge of the world.
It feels like you're the only man left on Earth.
Yeah, because this island is a little teeny horseshoe. It's only accessible by boat. And the entire island is a national park. And you can, there's a big one.
365, hon.
That is a big hit. That's awesome.
Turtles came through. We got eight of a kind turtles.
We can take this huge windbreak.
Wow, that was a good one. That's another 150 set aside.
Granted.
Wow,
that's really good.
Look at, we're doing quite well here.
That is good. Scatter. We need her twins to show
three
up.
Of her. I'm shaking my head at him, folks.
shaking her head and rolling her eyes at me. Well, I was wondering how she fits into the twin wind theme, and that's the only way I can come up with it.
That's the only way you can connect the dots.
That's the only way I can connect those dots, okay?
It's no surprise. Another little something.
Baby store kit. The island has all these little coves and stuff. It's very popular. And it does have a big bay that you can go inside the horseshoe and moor in. And we were able to get one of the highly coveted mooring boats.
Are there only two in there?
There were only two in this Snoring Cove. And the reason why it's called Snoring Cove is one of the game wardens actually fell asleep there.
Oh.
And you could hear him snoring because it kind of echoes off the sandstone. Yeah, I read the story about it. It's really interesting. And so that's why they call it Snoring Cove, is for this game warden who fell asleep.
I didn't know that.
Now, it has a lot of hiking trails through the islands, a lot of places you can walk around to, but we got out the paddle boards and we could paddleboard around the cove, and all the island is sandstone, and it's carved through wind. And one interesting fact about it, in 2014, a velociraptor was excavated. The fossil was found, and it became an excavation site.
Oh, I didn't know that either.
Yeah, in 2014.
Oh, wow. That wasn't that long ago from when we were there.
Yes, when we were there, it was like just a few years later.
Yeah. Hey, 4 of them.
That's a good
152.
hit. That's a good hit. 5 of hers pays a lot.
Well, let's get it and find out how much it pays
Exactly.
without looking in the games rule menu
Yes.
or game rules menu.
So we were paddleboarding there, and you could actually paddleboard to the shore. And we set up, they had little campfire areas, so we set up a little fire. We roasted marshmallows.
Yep, made some s'mores on shore there.
On shore. We stayed on that mooring ball, I think, for 3 days. And we were crabbing right outside at the mouth of that. I took the kids out on our dinghy, and we had these little crab, they're called a clamshell trap. And you can put them on the end of a fishing pole and catch crab. So we were catching Dungeness crab out there, and we cooked those on the boat. Come on, more. There we go.
Nice.
Then, what was it? Oh, I lost a crab pot out there too. That was
you said it. That's 55.
Yeah, my depth was off, and I didn't have enough line, and I watched my crab pot sink into the darkness.
Bye-bye, crab pot.
Yeah. It was.
You went out trying to find it the next
we
day
did.
at
At low tide. We tried to find it.
No such luck.
Could not find that ball, so it went down deep. There was a ledge there that I didn't position myself just right, and I missed that ledge. Well, then we went back to Friday Harbor. I think this was the same trip. We went back to Friday Harbor, and we'll always spend a few nights there. They have a great ice cream shop there you can walk up to.
Yes.
The ferry comes into port right there, which is fantastic. You can actually get on the ferry and ride it around and see the different islands. And you can get there to Friday Harbor via ferry.
Yes.
So if you go to Seattle, you can drive up to Anacortes and take the ferry over to Friday Harbor. Know that you're going to see lines, especially in the summertime. The lines can get long.
Yeah.
But you can walk on the ferry. And there's an ice cream shop there. There's a nice pub that we go to there that has
the poutine.
Oh yeah, they have poutine.
That's just to die for.
It
it's
is really
so
good. And what else? Let's see, there's all these kind of little shops up there in Friday Harbor. It's just a great place to hang out together.
Another 55. Fun to walk around and lots of activity. Just sitting there in the marina,
watching the boats go by.
Yeah, seeing everybody come in, go out.
Oh, and some big boats there too.
Oh, big boats.
Oh, look at all those.
Yeah,
twins
that
up
was
top.
just.
That was one away from a huge.
That would have been really good.
We saw a yacht one time there that was, I think, a good. I'm gonna have to say it in feet, although they're often referred to in meters. But it was a good 120-foot yacht. Plus.
Yeah, that one where we saw the crew.
The crew going back and forth with shopping carts.
Going to get provisions.
Correct. Loading up with provisions, and they were wheeling shopping carts down the dock. What a hike, too, for them.
That marina is so big, and that's a long hike.
Yeah, because they were out on the customs dock, which is the farthest dock away, but that's the only place that boat could moor.
Yeah, it doesn't have any other option.
It doesn't have any other option. Oh, come on, another twin.
Oh, darn.
Well, the one thing, too, about that harbor is that you've got a lot of boats that are there permanently. That's where they're moored, because there's a lot of people who live on the island.
Yep. Hey, 112.
We keep hitting these hits along the way. This is great.
We do. We're hanging in there.
That's perfect. Now if we could get a really big bell ringer of 10 of a kind, we would love that.
10 of a kind. Let's get it.
Well, then there was that one year I can't remember exactly which trip, if it was the same one as Sucia.
I think it was the next year.
Yes.
You're referring to our trip home?
Yes, the trip home, where, talk about harrowing.
Whew.
It had to be the craziest ride home we've ever had in the boat. So I'll set the stage here. It's morning, and winds are starting to pick up. And winds are not your friend when it comes to the San Juan Islands.
Not at all.
Because they whip through the islands, the sea churns up, and you have to cross, to get back down the Puget Sound, you have to cross the Strait of Juan de Fuca.
Yep.
Or you have to go through a back passage through a place called Deception Pass. And the reason why they call it Deception Pass is it's very deep and narrow, and the waters don't look that swift, but they are. The current is super strong. Because in the cliffs jut up a mile above the ocean on each side. There's this big bridge that goes over the top. And then there's this narrow waterway through. And that's the place you have to go through if the water's really, if it's really
Yeah,
bad
because it's
seas.
protected there.
Oh, wow. That
we got
is-
262.
Yeah, that is an 8 of a kind of the stingrays.
Oh, we've had 2 8-of-a-kinds.
That is awesome.
Turtles and now stingrays. Wow,
1,400,
nice.
that's good.
Yeah, we've had several 20x plus line pays.
Well, I say we don't go
But-
below 1,000 here.
No, we won't. We have 1389 right now.
So this morning we got up, and it was the morning we had to depart, and
Yeah.
we had to get back.
We
didn't-
could not stay any longer.
Yeah,
We
we
had
had work, all kinds of stuff.
Something going on we
Yeah.
had to get home for.
Because if we could have stayed, we would have. But also Friday Harbor was trying to get us out because they had a lot of boats coming in because
Yeah.
they're so popular. So we pushed our checkout, quote unquote checkout time, because you
Yeah.
literally check
Yep,
out of the
you do.
dock.
Just like a hotel.
Just like a hotel. As far as we could. And then getting off the dock was a struggle because the wind was blowing us into the other boat next to us.
Yeah.
And when we left, it was considered a small craft advisory. It was the winds.
Yep.
And that means that if you're in a small boat, you're advised not to go on the water.
Yeah.
Okay. Then it goes from a small craft advisory to, I think, and I'm not quite sure on this because it's been a while
next
since I've looked. The
level,
next
yeah.
level, it's a gale warning.
Gale.
And then you get into a full-blown gale. And if it's a gale warning, you just don't want to be out of the water.
Not at all.
It means your winds are sustained at above, I think, 35 miles an hour or something like that, 40 miles an hour. Gusts can get up to 50. It's just, and more.
It's just not fun.
It's not fun. So when we left, we've been out in small craft advisories before. Our boat can handle that kind of ocean. And a boat can handle a lot more than the crew can.
Yeah.
Because that's the whole thing is, can your passengers handle the rocking and swaying and everything? Yeah. Well, we get going, and we get tucked back in the islands, and it's not that bad.
No, we're like, oh, okay, this is fine.
We're like, this isn't too bad. Oh, where's our stingray?
Oh,
That would have paid,
wow.
I think, all ways.
There's so many directions.
Oh, too bad that didn't hit. Well, we get going, and we're thinking, oh, this isn't going to be too bad. And we come around the point of this island, and oh my gosh, we just got slammed.
Yeah.
So waves are in sets, and they're tracked in seconds. So if you see waves at 6 foot, 11 seconds, that means you're getting 6 foot waves 11 seconds apart.
Yep.
That means that every 11 seconds you're hitting a wave. But if you're going into the wave, you're actually hitting those waves at a faster pace than 11 seconds because you're moving forward in the waves. The wind was blowing, and you kind of, what you do is it's called quartering into the wind, but essentially you're not going directly into it. You're trying to quarter into the waves and into the wind so that you're not taking the waves head on. You kind of take them at a 30-degree angle. Wind is blowing, the water is just, the waves are crashing clear over our fly bridge canvas, which our fly bridge canvas, we are 14 feet above the water. And those waves were crashing clear over it to the point where you had about maybe 2 or 3 seconds you could see before the next wave was hitting us. And that continued on, it was relentless. And what should have taken us 20 minutes took us an hour plus to traverse. And the waves were just pounding, water flowing in. You had towels just to keep the water.
Yeah, because it's like running in.
Oh, it was running in down the fly bridge.
All over just the controls and stuff.
And so you were keeping us, well, and they're waterproof so they can handle it, but it was just, we were getting soaked in the process. Yeah. Everybody had their life jackets on.
Yeah, I'm like grabbing life jackets, throwing them at the kids and you, and it's like.
I think we were the only boat crazy enough to try to do it.
Yep.
And we came around a place called Coffin Rocks. I kid you not, they're called Coffin Rocks. The big rocks that shut out of the water. No, not very comforting. And that's where you make the turn to go into the Deception Pass entrance. And when we made that turn, we got into what's known as a following sea, where the waves are behind you, so they're picking the boat up, and you can literally feel like you're surfing. It is the most discomforting feeling you can think of.
Yeah, that's definitely unsettling.
And then luckily we timed it right with Deception Pass. The currents weren't that strong, but I mean, just the pounding of the waves and the boat just rocking, it was exhausting.
So tiring after that, just the adrenaline rush and coming down off that.
And we got in through Deception Pass, and then you get behind these protected cliffs, and then the water was flat and there wasn't any wind.
And it was just beautiful, calm as could be.
And I remember we pulled the boat over and just went adrift. And I needed to use the head. That's using the toilet for you non-nautical people. Because the captain needed a break, and I swear my hands were... then the adrenaline released, and I was just shaking. It was so crazy. Blake came up, and at one point, he's holding on to both our dogs, by the way, that are also in life vests.
Yep.
Our 2 little Havanese dogs. They're in life vests. He's holding on to them. The life vests have these handles on them. And he asks us, Dad, are we going to die? He was, 8 or 9 at the time?
Probably around 8,
Are we going to die? No, son, we're going to be just fine. Oh, there we go.
Oh.
That's aces and then 5 seals.
175.
That's a lot of money right there.
Look at that.
Well, I couldn't have come at a better time.
I know.
Yeah, he was asking.
Yeah, you're like, no, we're
going to be fine. Boat's going to be fine. Everything's going to be fine. This is just it's going to be a little crazy. Just hold on.
Yep.
Stay seated. Hold on.
Yeah.
Our daughter went below. I don't know how she did. I don't know how she
did. Did she go down below?
She did. She was down below in the forward cabin, and I don't know how she did that.
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
And we just hammered our way through it, and then we got in these calm waters, and then we cruised all the way back to Seattle. To Elliott Bay that night. And there's a little harbor at the base of there that we stay at. What is the name of that place again? The
Bell Harbor.
Harbor Marina.
Yep.
Tucked into Bell Harbor Marina. We went and got food, and it was 6:30. We went back to the boat, and I think we passed out.
I think we were asleep by 8 o'clock probably. We were so exhausted.
Best sleep I ever had.
Well, and after we got through Deception Pass and it's all calm and we took our little break, you looked at me and said,
"Are we still boaters?"
And I said, "Too soon to ask."
Too soon. Too soon. Way too soon.
Wait, do we want to stop at 1100 here?
I think that's a good point.
That was a good little
end
run.
of our sea trial story.
Yeah.
We don't really have a bonus that we're playing for.
No,
on this
it's
machine.
kind of like.
So we've made some profit. So I think that's a good point to stop.
Okay.
That was a good seafaring session.
Yeah, profit $350.
Hey, that's almost a half a tank on the boat.
Oh gosh, don't remind me.
You don't want to fill up a twin-engine diesel. That'll melt your credit card.
Yep.
Yeah, there's bigger boats than ours. I don't know how they do it. They go through so much fuel. Anyway.
Yeah.
Hope you enjoyed the story. If you did, please like and subscribe. There's a lot of our stories that we've told. They're under our playlist called Slots of Stories. We have some interesting ones. We've never been afraid of an adventure.
No.
Well, with that, we will wrap this up and see you, I think, I'm going to say tomorrow. I'm taking a shot here.
So smart, hon. You got it right.
I get one right once a day. That's all I'm allowed.